If you have not yet gotten Skyward Sword, I recommend you do it now. It is an amazing game. Hello everyone and welcome back for more The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. And in the last video, we got rid of the Gyptos by returning the spring water to Ikana Candle. And in this video, we're going to venture on because now since we got the Gypto Mask by healing Pamela's father in the music box house, we can now descend into this little mini dungeon. It's not the temple, but I consider it to be a dungeon, which is right here. It's actually the first part of a big dungeon. So we're going to start beneath the well. And I'll get more into explaining about this dungeon once we get into it. Because this first part is pretty simple. So we're just going to come on down and we're going to start this small little dungeon. It's actually pretty cool. It should be very reminiscent to the bottom of the well from Ocarina of Time. And here it is, guys. Beneath the well. It's a giant Gypto maze dungeon. So basically the purpose of this dungeon is you want to wear your Gypto mask and you go up to these Gyptos. Leave it, leave it. Leave me something delicious to chomp on, something that sprouts from when it's water, preferably 5 of them. So we need to give them the magic beans that we got. Now, there are a lot of these Gyptos, and you can go to every single room, but this is not necessary. I'm just showing the quickest way to get to the 2 things that we will need to get. First thing you want to do is you want to try to make it to that big square room, son of a bitch. That big square room, kind of near the bottom right end of the area. If you can see it right there, it's kind of squarish. You want to head off to that room first. So this entire dungeon is mainly just talking to Gyptos, and it's just trying to go through the maze by giving them what they want. Be careful though, there are keys and there is a wall master in here, so you really want to be careful of those guys. But the Gyptos aren't going to do you any harm if you just keep wearing the Gyptos mask. So it's a pretty easy dungeon, and I consider it to be actually the first part of this too. Who is that? Let me go check. Okay, unknown number. F you. Oh my god. How many times have I been interrupted by phones in this frickin' Let's Play? I'm not even kidding. If it rings again, I'm going to take a shotgun to my home phone and I will shoot it in the screen. It's gotten that annoying now. I'm not even kidding. Alright, okay, just kill these guys. So yeah, I consider this to be the first part of kind of like a big dungeon, which I called the Ikana dungeon. The second part, of course, is the castle, but we haven't gotten to that yet. So we're gonna talk to this guy now. Leave me 10 refreshing blasts. So he wants to get blasted. Ooh, sounds like a party. So just give him some of our bombs. It's pretty explanatory. If you want to explore all the rooms, be my guest, but I'm not. I really don't consider them to be all that useful. So now we're in this giant square room, as you can see where we are. This is the goal to get to. Because in here, we're going to fight a bit of a mini-boss in this dungeon. Okay, cross, don't get hit by spikes. And appears another Big Po! Hooray! Big Po's are super easy to defeat by now. You should have no trouble defeating them. They just take 5 hits with an arrow, and then they're done. Just remember to defend them. They'll always appear behind you. Actually, I realize that they don't always appear behind you. Because, like, I can face the way that they're supposed to appear behind me, and they'll just face right in front of me. So I don't think that's true. I think they just face behind whatever way you originally were facing. See, look, I was facing forward that time, and yet it still came through them this way. How very odd. Where is it? Ah! Bitch! There you go. That time I did not see it. Okay, well thanks for throwing a monkey wrench in my plans. Okay, we're gonna get another empty bottle for here. By now you guys should definitely have at least 5 bottles. You only need 3 bottles for this, but you should have at least 5. Oh boy. Okay. God, I cannot. This game's actually getting really close to the end of the game. Like, we are really close. Like, I'm guessing maybe, like, we're gonna have this game done in, like, the next 15 to 20 videos. So, yeah, not that long. Which I'm really happy about the fact that we're almost done with this game. Leave it! Leave it! Leave me something deliciously fresh. I believe that's the fish he's talking about. Not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure it's a fish. Yeah, it's a fish. There we go. I don't know what happens if you give them the wrong thing. I think they don't take it, so that's a good thing to work. Okay, cool. There's no wall master in here. I'm like, is there a wall master in here? Don't F with me, game. Alright, we're just gonna go all the way to this one. Knock it. Really? Really? Okay, I'm gonna go get my shotgun. Phone, you better stop ringing. Actually, I don't have a shotgun, but, you know. I would like one. Throwing the phone against the wall seems more effective, though. I swear to God. It's like we get... Why do we even have a home phone? No one even really calls it. Except for solicitors and people we don't know. Alright, so we just give them that. Go forward, and this is the last room, I believe, that we need to go through. Hooray! Okay. Oh, wall master. I actually almost didn't see that. Alright, so just time yourself carefully with this little maze of spikes. Yeah. Go forward. Okay. Oh, there's another wall master. Luckily, if you talk to this guy, it cancels out his animation. Okay, he wants something rich in calcium. So we give him the milk. I believe this is the last thing that we need to give. Ah, this, I made no remorse. And we're done! And we were trying to get to this kind of far northwestern room right here. See, there's some sunlight. Now what we need to do is we need to light all these torches with arrows. Well, technically we need to light the arrows so we can light the torches, so I wasn't wrong there. I hate how after you shoot this, it gives you arrows, yet they disappear. I mean, it's just kind of dickish, game. Seriously, game. I could really use those. And this spawns a chest. What did we get? We got the mirror shield. This is awesome. It's just like the mirror shield in Ocarina of Time. Yeah, I know I'm making a lot of throwbacks, but there's a lot of similarities. Except now it has that really creepy face. But mirror shield has the ability to reflect light. So now what we can do is we can point at items that can be destroyed by light and get them out of our way. Just like that sunblock. That's what I call them. So now we cleared that out of the way. So how do we get up there? Point at this sun face. A lot of people don't like these sun face because they say they're creepy. I like them. They're cool. And now we have access up here. And now we leave the first part of the Ikana dungeon. An Ikana candle. And now we're going to start part 2. Well, kind of, because I don't want to do all of part 2 in this video. So, yeah. Because I want to get back to playing Skyward Sword. And I'm excited. And now we're in the second part, guys. The Ancient Castle of Ikana. Let's climb up this. And there's actually a pretty small area, I must admit. Here it is. Ancient Castle of Ikana. The second part of this dungeon. Really the main part, too. So, there's actually a few Gibdos Garos that we can talk to in here. They'll give us clues about this area. So I'm gonna go and fight them and show them off. I think they'd be useful. Master, you called. Why does everyone confuse us for a master? I mean, seriously. Hey, where is he? What the heck? Why can't I lock onto him? There we go. Gabe. There we go. And now let's see what information he has. Red Ball, though my rival, you are spectacular. I shall take my bow there. A hole can be opened in the ceiling in a particular room in Ikana Castle, but it cannot be broken without an explosive with incredible might. Believe or disbelief rests with you. Alright, so we're gonna need an explosive with incredible might. Hint, hint. Bombs will not work. And now to find another. What am I? These Garo guys are so freaking simple. I do not know how the Ikana can defeat them. Alright, so what does he say? In entering Ikana Castle, there's another secret route apart from the well entrance. Belief or disbelief rests with you. Okay. So there's another way that we can enter through Ikana Castle, although as you can see behind us, that was the front gate. And that doesn't open. but there is a way. Master, you called. Who are you? Why do these guys seem confused? How do they look like they're master? I mean, we don't wear the full cloak. We just wear the mask. Right? The Redads and Arcana were once members of the castle's dancing troupe. Another good thing to note. That leads to something I consider to be really weird in this game. But we'll get into that probably in the next video. So now, oh geez, I'm gonna need some more, rupees, okay? So I'm gonna try to see if I can get up to 50 rupees, because we're gonna need 50 rupees. I'm actually gonna be leaving Arcana Castle, yeah, I'm leaving mid-dungeon, because we're not gonna be able to complete this dungeon on one go, unless we get a few things. Plus, I think it'd be a good idea to show how you can get a shortcut into this area, so that way it's a lot easier to get in. We couldn't do this shortcut before because, of course, we need the mirror shield. So I'm going to leave for Clock Town, and we're going to get the stuff that we can be, so we can be all prepared for this little mini dungeon area. Well, it's a dungeon. I guess I call it a mini dungeon because really the dungeons in this game are temples. So dungeons are like mini dungeons, and the real dungeons are the temples. It's kind of a shame. Alright. So yes, I do consider the Arcana dungeon to be a dungeon. A lot of people actually don't. They're like, yeah, it's not really a dungeon. Mainly because it does break a lot of the dungeon rules. Like, for one, you will actually be able to get a piece of heart in Arcana Castle. And usually dungeons in at least Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, you can't really get a piece of hearts. But I don't really find that to be a valid rule because in later Zelda games, you can get pieces of heart in dungeons. So, yeah, I don't really consider that a good rule. A lot of people also said it's because it's like, you know, every dungeon, you know, has an item that you can get. Well, and it's like, well, obviously we get an item. We get the mirror shield, and we will get something later on. They say you don't really fight a mini-boss. I consider that big bow to be considered a mini-boss, I guess. So I do consider this to be a dungeon. The only time a dungeon never gives you really a final item, or like an item of the dungeon, is like the final dungeons of the game. Which makes sense, because I mean, they would need to really give you another item. Alright, so let's speak to the Scoron. Now, we need to get an explosion of Incredible Blast, so we're going to buy ourselves a powder keg. That's what we're going to need. I believe that's really the only thing that will work. Alright. So, now let's get working on with that other Garo set, which is that we will be able to get into Arcana Castle another way besides going through the Gibdo Well. Which is another name for beneath the well. I like to call it the Gibdo Well because it makes sense. It's a well full of Gibdos. Da-da-da! Alright, so, surprisingly, maybe you might have investigated this earlier, but really couldn't do anything about it. Well, now we'll be able to. Now, hold on. I don't know if I'm supposed to do this far. Yeah, there's still some Garo that I haven't fought yet. You little fucker! I hate Glaze. It's not that. Oops. Oh, it's down here. Okay, see right there? That is the ancient castle of Arcana. Yes, Tattle, shut up. It says, Ancient Castle of Arcana front gate. Use what you will, the sealed gate shall never open. So there's no way that we can get in through this front gate. But, surprisingly, there's a little hole off to the side. I'm surprised they didn't notice this. But it's blocked off by a sunblock. So how do we get rid of it? We hit this switch right here, which lets in sunlight. And now we can destroy it with a condensed beam of sunlight at the block. And I can't freaking see the damn sunblock. There we go, come on. It's kind of hard to move this shield. There we go! And now we have easy access to Arcana Castle, which we will be taking on next time. So, next time on Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, as I just said, we will be taking on the Ancient Castle of Arcana. And, hopefully finishing it too in one video, and we will. It's a really short one. So I will see you guys next time when we do just that. And yes, Skyward Sword is an amazing game. It's so great. If you have not yet gotten it, get it. It's amazing. It's an awesome, awesome game. I will see you guys next time.